But Tim, the season itself offers so much hope to so many
Yes.
teams and people and fans. You're a fan of a team which has always been fairly good. I've been a fan of a team which has been awful and good. So very much different approaches to the off seasons, I feel like, in the last 20 or so years. But you got any overarching thoughts on the season yet to come, or just general takes on what you expect, what unexpected things you expect to happen, I suppose, in the season? Because as we know, the NFL tends to flip-flop around a crazy amount year on year.
Yeah, so I, as a Steeler fan, there are certain things that the beginning of every season brings that I loathe. So the fan base expects to win the Super Bowl absolutely every year. It doesn't matter if we have a rookie quarterback. It doesn't matter if, we've just lost 4 Hall of Fame defensive players. It doesn't matter if we have, won the division, lost the division. The expectation is every year we were this close, and really we should have won it last year, but so-and-so didn't. Next year's our year. Every year we're supposed to win the Super Bowl. That's never realistic. Even the teams that win the Super Bowl, that's not the expectation. It's the hope, right? Tiger Woods, who's won more golf tournaments than anybody who's ever lived, would say, look, all I'm doing is trying to give myself a shot on Sunday to win as many of these stupid things as I can. And if you keep giving yourself chances, that's going to turn up in your favor. And that's the way the NFL is. You got to give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chip in a chair in the playoffs. Try to peak late, get healthy. Lord knows what can happen. And, if you're very fortunate, you can do that for a couple of decades and win 4 or 5. If you're, less fortunate, you get it every 4 or 5 or 6 years, you get a chance in the playoffs, and you got to make the most of those chances. The teams that do, you end up being Eli Manning, right? He had 2 real good seasons in his career, won 2 Super Bowls. The rest of them turn into Peyton Manning, who was good every single year, won 2 Super Bowls. So, you got to make the most of those chances when you get them. And I think fans of franchises like the Steelers, like the Patriots, like the Cowboys, who have these multiple title type reputations, it's very hard to think about it that way. And so that's always frustrating for me as a Steelers fan. The other thing that's frustrating for me as a Steelers fan is this year we're on the hype train a little bit. And I hate the preseason hype train regardless of who it's following. But this year it's us.
Not a big fan of that one, are you?
No. And this idea that Kenny Pickett looked great on like 12 dropbacks against vanilla defenses playing their second stringers.
Yeah. I also like when they do the camp puff pieces are great, like social media's impact on training camps, where people are now charting, he was 13 for 13 in today's practice period. It's like, it's not a game. Like, nope. It's not a game. The number of things, every rookie quarterbacks is usually the worst. I'm sure you had it last year with Pickett, right? But this year it's Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. Pick your QB rookie of choice.
Shocker.
Anthony Richardson has had a tremendous camp. It's like, where do you think this news is coming from? Is it coming from the coaching staff that wants him to look good? Like, do you give him confidence? It's so predictable. Devontae Parker, now with the Patriots, formerly of the Dolphins, for years. I mean, if there was a preseason hype player Hall of Fame, he would be right in there. I mean, he's been a good player in his NFL career, had some flash years, but every year, Devontae Parker is going to break out this season every single year for like 5 years in a row. He's a good player, but he never did. And this year, I think that player is Calvin Ridley, right? I think you and I have spoken about this off air, so to speak. He's looked amazing in camp. It's like, can we just wait and see if he looks any good, given he hasn't played football in 2 years? Like, it's always absurd. So I do enjoy that. And the Steelers have had some notable puff pieces this year, which is unusual for you, I feel like, because usually it's like, well, the Steelers will be good because they're always good.
I have one of these Amazon Echo Show little screen things in my kitchen for reasons that are unclear to me, other than it came out and there was a Christmas, and so I'm sure somebody bought it. But, I was walking by and it said, Steelers have a flawless offseason ? And it linked to a video
what does that even mean?
2 talking heads like you and I explaining how the Steelers literally did everything to the best possible maximum that they could, like literally could not have had a better offseason than they had. And if they are not competing for the Super Bowl, the only reason will be injuries, because the team could not be constructed better. And all I could do was say, what? So the offensive line was meh. We got new ones, therefore, hey, they're going to be great. Yeah. Or maybe they'll also be terrible.